Welcome to Supernatural Japan, the podcast that dives into haunted temples, forgotten crimes, yokai legends, and ghost stories from across the Japanese archipelago. I'm your host, Kevin O'Shea, and tonight we're headed to Osaka, a city known for street food, comedy, and neon. But beneath that cheerful surface lies a much older and sometimes much darker story. In the heart of the city, in a moss-covered alleyway, where a spirit in a kimono walks in silence. This is Hozenji Yokocho, and tonight we'll explore the story of the ghost of the alley and the ancient power that still lingers in the stones beneath your feet. If you've ever been to Japan, odds are you've heard of Tokyo, its capital of technology, trends, and endless sprawl. But if Tokyo is Japan's brain, Osaka is its beating heart. Located in the Kansai region, on the southern coast of Honshu, Osaka has long played a crucial role in the country's story. In ancient times, it was called Naniwa, briefly serving as Japan's capital in the 7th and 8th centuries. But Osaka's true rise came during the Edo period, when it became known as Tenka no Daidokoro, or the nation's kitchen. This is a place where merchants thrived, rice was traded, and commoners built a bold, lively culture all their own. Osaka today is Japan's third largest city, but culturally, it feels very different from Tokyo or Kyoto. Osakans are proud, direct, and famously funny. This is the birthplace of manzai comedy, street food like takoyaki and okonomiyaki, and some of Japan's most creative nightlife. It's a city that never takes itself too seriously, at least not on the surface. But, like all places with a long memory, Osaka has its shadows. And just like Kyoto's spirits or Tokyo's urban legends, Osaka has its own supernatural past. Osaka isn't always front and center when people think of Japan's ghost stories, but it should be. From cursed bridges like Ebisubashi to haunted ruins like the Sebonmatsu site, Osaka has its fair share of strange sightings. The city's long history of war, fire, and social upheaval have left behind layers of forgotten tragedy. Beneath the laughter and neon are centuries of pain, devotion, and longing, and it's here, in these liminal spaces, that spirits tend to linger. One of those places is hidden in plain sight, right in the middle of Osaka's most famous nightlife district. Welcome to Namba and Dotonbori, the electric soul of southern Osaka. If Tokyo has Shibuya Scramble and Kyoto has the geisha-lined lanes of Gion, then Osaka has Dotonbori, a riot of colors, signs, and street stalls built around a centuries-old canal. This district has been the nightlife hotspot for more than 400 years. Theaters, bars, street food vendors, and pachinko parlors have kept the area alive through war, depression, and rebirth. Today, tourists flood here to snap selfies with the Glico Running Man and eat their way through stalls offering everything from kushikatsu to flame-seared crab legs. But just steps away from the chaos is a completely different world. A place of moss, silence, and candlelight. This is Hozenji Yokocho. Hozenji Yokocho is a narrow, stone-paved alley, only about 80 meters long, lined with old-fashioned izakayas and glowing paper lanterns. Despite being tucked away right behind bustling Dotonbori, it feels like a hidden portal to the past. At the heart of the alley is the Hozenji Temple, a small Buddhist temple originally founded in 1637, and dedicated to Fudo Myo, the immovable wisdom king, a wrathful, flame-wreathed protector of justice and truth. And he's one of the fiercest looking deities in Japanese Buddhism. Yet, here in Hozenji, his statue is known for something gentler. Over the years, a tradition developed. Visitors pour water over the statue as a prayer for good fortune, healing, and strength. And as a result, the figure of Fudo-myo is now entirely covered in thick green moss, giving it an otherworldly, almost living presence. Locals say the temple has power, and some believe that it has drawn a spirit to its side. They call her the ghost of Hozenji Yokocho. People say that after midnight, long after the last patrons leave the izakayas, and those izakayas go dark, a woman in a kimono appears in the alley. She walks quietly, always alone, her head slightly bowed, and she pauses at the mossy statue of Fudo-myo, pours water, and vanishes. Some who've seen her describe her presence as cold. Others say they smell old-fashioned perfume or incense just before she appeared. A few chefs who work late say their lights flicker when she passes by. But who is she? There are stories. One claims she was a widow from World War II who came to Hozenji Temple every day to pray for her husband's return from the battlefield. When he never came home, she returned to the temple again and again until the day she didn't. And now her soul returns in search of the peace she never found. Another version tells of a courtesan, abandoned and shamed by her lover. She ended her life in secret, and her spirit still walks the alley where she once found fleeting happiness. And others say she's not a ghost at all, but a guardian, bound to the spirit of Fudo-myo, a silent watcher in the night. What's unique about Japan's ghost stories is how often they're tied to a place. Whether it's a lonely mountain path or an alley in a crowded city, spirits linger where memories collect. And Hozenji Yokocho is thick with memory. Centuries of footsteps, whispered prayers, broken hearts, and quiet hope. Here, in the heart of Osaka's most famous party district, the contrast is striking. On one side, noise, lights, life. On the other, silence, shadows, and something just out of view. If you're ever in Osaka, I highly recommend walking through Hozenji Yokocho. Pour water over the mossy statue, offer a prayer, walk quietly. And if you see a woman in a kimono walking ahead of you, maybe don't follow. Just bow and let her be. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Supernatural Japan. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please consider subscribing, leaving a review wherever you listen to your podcast, and share the show with other lovers of Japanese folklore and ghost tales. And I would love it if you shared your thoughts or ghostly tales from Japan with me at Supernatural Japan. You can email me anytime you like at supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. Now, you know what? I've personally walked down this alley several times in the past, and I will be again this summer. I'm looking forward to spending most of the month of July in Osaka, and I'm going to be staying in a place that's not too far away. So I'll be visiting there again. And I'm going to share some of those pictures on my social media this week, so you need to check that out. Now, hopefully, the next time I'm there, I'll see something a little ghostly. All right, folks, if you enjoy the podcast, if you enjoy Supernatural Japan, you can help me with the creation I'm doing right now with this podcast by buying me a coffee. There's a link in the show notes where you can go to buymeacoffee.com/BusanKevin, and anything you donate will go to the creation of future episodes of the podcast. Now, again, if you have any feedback or thoughts, please leave an amazing 5-star rating and a review wherever you listen to the podcast. Definitely follow Supernatural Japan on social media. I'll be sharing lots of photos of Hozenji Yokocho on Instagram. Some of these are photos I took myself a couple of years ago, and I'll be there in about a month from now, actually, and I'll share more photos. So follow Supernatural Japan on Instagram at Supernatural Japan. You can follow me, Kevin, your host, on Blue Sky and X at Mad for Maple. Again, you can email the show at supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. And we have a Facebook group. Come on over to facebook.com/supernaturaljapan. Would love it if you join. There will also be, from time to time, companion blogs over on justjapanstuff.com. Well, that's it for another episode, friends. Thanks for listening. And until next time, keep your lantern lit. Remember, the shadows may be walking beside us.